I love Doc Rivers. I love him. I think nothing but the highest regard of him. I think he's one of my favorite people I've gotten to meet in this industry. And I just wish anybody who knows Doc Rivers feels the same way about him. The way he speaks about serious issues, life issues, wearing it on his sleeve, using his platform for the right things. It's all great. All of it. And anybody who knows Doc Rivers feels the same way about him and would say the same thing. Man, if he could just win those games to get to a conference final, that would be great. And just to see where we could go after that, like his 1 year winning it all with the Boston Celtics. Boy, wouldn't it's everyone who loves him or knows him, obviously loves him and roots for him. But 5 straight Game 7 losses, 9th straight loss for a Doc Rivers coach team with a chance to go to the conference finals. It's just a head scratcher. He had the MVP this time around in Joel Embiid, along with James Harden, the beard. We all know the big 3 that he had here in Los Angeles with Chris Paul in his heyday. Just couldn't do it. Couldn't get over the hump after winning it all with the Boston Celtics. And so this 3rd straight, all 3 years for the Philadelphia 76ers under Doc Rivers, ended in the 2nd round. And after everything that happened with Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons holding it against Rivers for not immediately coming to a full-throated defense of his level of play in a playoff game that a lot of people in Philadelphia pinned on him, passing up shots because he doesn't want to be fouled, to shoot free throws that he struggled with, and we all seen how Simmons has panned out in Brooklyn so far. Survived that, came back. Embiid had a terrific year, an MVP campaign, and the team wound up being the 3rd seed in the East and had a chance to move on to the conference finals. All they had to do was win a Game 6 at home, couldn't finish it up, and then Game 7 was a total blowout, and Doc Rivers was fired this morning. Woj dropping that bomb about a half an hour before we came on the air. 3 seasons, all 2nd-round exits. This one looked particularly promising in this wide-open NBA. Anybody could win it. Embiid playing out of his skull, top of his game. Harden had a 45-piece with Embiid out in Game 1. They took the first game in Boston. Still couldn't finish it up. You got the sense that this was happening. We all thought it might be coming, and it did. Daryl Morey and the rest of the ownership group there swinging the axe today. And it's a damn shame. Love the guy. Don't know if he's going to get another gig somewhere else in the NBA, as you know. What goes around comes around really fast in the NBA. The teams with the 3 most wins in the last 3 years in the NBA, the Bucks, the Suns, and the Sixers. What do they all have in common? They all just fired their coaches.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And the Raptors won a championship a few years ago. They fired Nick Nurse. They fired that coach. Frank Vogel of the Lakers won in the bubble. Yep. He got fired. He gone. So coaches that have won NBA championships fired. Coaches that have won regular season games and giving their teams a chance to win the NBA championship but did not fired. It's a crazy, mixed-up sports world we're living in right now, and good people like Doc Rivers just need to win more. That's what it seems like. And so the Sixers now go into this offseason with, one would think, a plum job. The MVP of the league is standing right there. But the question is what to do with James Harden. What to do with the beard, who was up, and when he was up in this conference semifinal, he was
all
up.
The way up.
All the way up.
And then he was down, he was down. Right? No gray area. No mid-level area, which, by the way, is what the Sixers would be left with to replace Harden because of their cap situation, is that if he leaves, the cap space that the Sixers would have to replace him only leaves them with a full mid-level exemption. Now, obviously, that's the way things look right now, and maneuvers can be made when you think that maneuvers can't get you out of a conundrum. And I know this might be apples and oranges, but just look at the Lakers midseason. He thought that there's no way out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're looking for the mole. No way out. That's a pop culture reference in a very, I think, underrated Kevin Costner film. But
agree.
Shout out to
just
Matt
when you
Stowe.
think just when you think there's no way out, look who's playing in the Western Conference Finals tonight. That said, you know, if you're Monty Williams, who has already been named as a possible successor in Philadelphia, you got Giannis sitting out there too.
Yeah.
You got a Bucks situation. You got MVPs all over the place looking to be coached. Nick Nurse, I mean, who just got fired from the Raptors. Woj mentions him as a possible replacement for Doc. Mike Budenholzer, who used to coach Giannis about 2 weeks ago, he got fired. He's mentioned as a possible replacement. Frank Vogel, who I mentioned just moments ago about him getting fired, he's mentioned as a possible replacement. Sam Cassell is a former player of note in the NBA who, you know, has been on a ton of benches you see and timeouts and things of that nature as an assistant. Longtime assistant in this league. He's being mentioned as a possible replacement. And if James Harden and Daryl Morey are involved in the situation, you know the name Mike D'Antoni can't be too far away.
Come on, Rich.
And his name is mentioned
Stop
in this
that out.
piece by Woj.
Don't put that
Can't
out in the
quit that
universe,
guy.
bro.
I'm not putting it out in the universe. It's part of Woj's list of people. Honestly, if there's Daryl Morey and there's James Harden, Mike D'Antoni can't be too far behind. And this whole situation is potentially why your new team will be picked out of a ping pong ball tureen this evening.
Yeah, I don't even know why I care what's going on there.
You should care. This is a
I
good
got a
team.
new
It's
team to
good-
get
Got a new
it's-
team
it's a
coming,
good-
TJ.
No, the Sixers are a good team with a lot of good players and a lot of terrific roster pieces and a terrific roster builder. And I don't know why the hell they couldn't get the ball into the paint enough for Embiid in the final 5 quarters of this series to the satisfaction of everybody in Philadelphia. This is the old head scratcher, man. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.